Hi, I'm Christina, and this is a book review of The Mysterious Case of the Alperton Angels by Janice Hallett. So this is a mystery novel and it was published in 2023. This is her third novel and it's the third book that I've read by this author. I read The Appeal first and I thought that was absolutely wonderful. I gave it 5 stars and it was one of the best books that I read last year, and it's actually one of my favourite mystery novels of all time now. And then I read her second book, The Twyford Code, and I didn't like that one very much, to be honest. And then going into this one, it was a little bit of a hit and miss author for me, but I have to say, I thought this one was really good. I thought it was excellent, not quite as good as The Appeal for me, and that was just the ending, I have to say. It was still a 5-star read, but something about the ending, just not quite as good as The Appeal, but still very, very good. And yeah, I still really enjoyed it. So let me just read you the first page of the book, just to kind of set the scene and give you an idea what it's about. So all of her books are mixed media format. So in this one, we have WhatsApp messages, we have emails, we have typed transcripts of interviews, we have the first draft of a chapter in a novel, and then the second draft, etc. And then we also have excerpts from a screenplay that was never actually made. And we have excerpts from novels that have been published, a young adult novel, and then kind of like a spy kind of novel. And we just have lots of different things. We have like pages torn out from these books and all that kind of stuff. And I always find it so interesting to read through all of the things that she kind of compiles together in her novels. And she does that in all 3 of them. And yeah, I think this book definitely does have the magic of The Appeal for me. It's so much better than The Twyford Code. And yeah, I just love trying to piece it all together. It's kind of like a puzzle within like a book, like a little game that you're trying to solve. And that just style of writing really, really works for me. So yeah, let me read you the first page. You have a key that opens a safe deposit box. Inside is a bundle of documents, archived research material for a book that has just been published. You must read it all and make a decision. Either replace the documents and the box, then throw the key where it will never be found, or take everything to the police. So the case that this is about is the Alperton Angels, and they are a cult who reside in Alperton in London. And it's kind of a mass suicide murder kind of situation, and it very much became very popular in the media, and at the time a lot of people were very interested in the case because there was just so many intriguing aspects to the case. So when you first start reading this archived research material, the year is 2021, and the main character is a woman called Amanda Bailey. Now, she is a best-selling true crime author, and a publisher has approached her to write a book about the case of the Alperton Angels, but to write about it from a completely new angle. So the correspondence starts on the 26th of May 2021, and you go through the whole process of writing this book with Amanda. So the book itself is split into 8 different parts, and the first part is her doing kind of background reading and then corresponding with people in the case and just all of that kind of researching stage. And then the next stage is when she starts conducting second stage interviews, etc. And you literally follow her through the entire process of writing this true crime book. And I thought it was really, really good. And another thing that was good is the correspondence ends on the 3rd of January 2023, and this book itself was published on the 19th of January 2023. So it's kind of like a book within a book idea, if you will. So the correspondence starts on the 26th of May 2021, goes all the way to the 3rd of January 2023, and it's someone congratulating on the publication of this book that's going to be published next week, and then this book itself was published on the 19th of January 2023. So I like the way all of that kind of came together. And yeah, I thought it was really, really well done. I was very much intrigued by this story. There are so many twists and turns. There's so many like different kind of conspiracy theories and cover-ups and ideas you can take. And there's so many different angles as well. So there's kind of a supernatural, paranormal kind of angle, if you believe actual kind of religious with the actual angels, and there's another angle of like looking at the cults, and there's angles of, you know, police, and there's angles of looking at how maybe the foster care system has failed some of these young people, and there's so many different ways that you can look at this. And I was so engrossed, honestly. I had so many different theories. I was wrong so many times, and I thought that was brilliant. Now, I have to say, nearer the end of the book, I did solve the big kind of mystery, if you will. I solved it literally just before she kind of explained it, but that didn't affect my enjoyment of the book at all. I thought it was really good overall. I will just say that a little part of the ending, I wasn't 100% on board with. It was definitely going to be a top 5-star read, you know, one of my favourite books of the year, but then something happened and it is still a 5-star, like a lower 5-star, but just slightly affected my enjoyment of it a little bit. I obviously won't say what it is, but overall I thought it was excellent, and it definitely, the best part of it, of course, is the mixed media format. I just love the way in which she presents all of this to you, and you're just going through trying to figure out all of these different things, and you're literally on the journey as well with her. So she has an ex-assistant who basically does all the transcriptions for her as well for the interviews, and then you're reading the transcriptions alongside, and then she puts her little comments in it as well, so it feels very kind of relatable for the reader. And just going through it, you're just like thrown into this situation with all of this evidence, and you're just trying to piece things back together. I definitely flip back a few times to reread certain things and just be like, what was that again? And I definitely had to try and think who was involved. So you have Amanda herself is the true crime author, you have her agent, you have her editor, you had the woman that used to be her assistant that does the transcribing for her, you have a couple of other true crime authors who are also writers, you have people who work in the police currently and people who are retired from the police, you have social workers involved in the case and those that have now retired as well. You have people who work in A&E, like the nurses, you have the paramedics, so many people. You have people that work at the schools, just so many people around this case at the time, and you're just trying to follow her as she's trying to piece things together, and at the same time you can kind of disappear off, you know, the garden path, and you're just like, what on earth is going on? I had so many times when I was like, is it supernatural? Is it cult stuff? Is it something else? And yeah, very exciting in the way that it's written. And at the very end, I read this for 2.5 hours straight because I just had to know the ending. I literally lost track of time. I was going to go and do something else and I didn't. And yeah, it took me 2.5 hours to finish it from where I was. And yeah, it was 100% worth it. I think it's really good. It's a brilliant mystery novel. It will definitely be reading whatever she writes next. And it actually says in the beginning that her next novel is going to be called The Examiner, and it's going to be published in 2024. So yeah, I just love the writing style. I wouldn't say that Amanda is particularly a likable character. I didn't feel very connected to her or this case. I think I felt more connected to the case of the appeal. But still, it was really good. There was a lot of intrigue in here, lots of interesting things I'd never really thought about. And yeah, just piecing it all together is so much fun. It's like a puzzle, it's like a game, all of those things. And I think it's the experience that's so good. Like the actual reading experience is just so much fun because you are literally just trying to figure it out. And she throws so many curveballs in there, so many things that just to completely knock you off track. So yeah, I think it's really good. I would highly recommend it, and I think it possibly could be one of my favourite books of the year. Just a little bit about that ending, but yeah, overall a really solid, good book, a good fun time, and basically you're in it for the reading experience. I would say make some notes. You might need to jot down who a couple of people are, a couple of things that come out, and then you might want to look back, and I think that's the fun of it, trying to figure it out. Well, that was the fun of it for me anyway. So if you have read this book, I would love to know what you thought of it. Please do like the video if you've liked it, and please do subscribe if you'd like to hear more of me talking about books. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.